So you're telling me that no field office, division, or directorate has lost any personnel since January 20th, 2025? That's your answer?
In Hawaii, there's been a plus up. In every single state that I'm looking at, we have allocated a plus up for field offices across the country so that the FBI can continuing the historic achievements it's done in these last 7 months. When you're talking about firings, you're looking for a media hit and a fundraising clip, and I'm not going to give it to you.
Wow, that was something else. I just finished watching that exchange between Senator Hero and FBI Director Kash Patel. And let me tell you, the level of political theater we just witnessed is off the charts. Now, here's what gets me. You got a sitting U.S. Senator grilling Kash Patel, not to get answers, but to get clips. You can literally feel it. Every question was framed like a soundbite for social media. But Kash, he didn't take the bait. Calm, firm, and laser-focused, he reminded everyone watching that leadership isn't about playing politics. This video proves exactly why Kash Patel is such a threat to the establishment. He doesn't play their game. He stands his ground, refuses to be used for political optics, and keeps bringing the conversation back to results. Stick around, because in the main segment, we're breaking down exactly what just happened and why Kash Patel just flipped the script on his critics. And before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. Because here on Hot News Today, we bring you the truth behind the noise.
Director Patel, just like the rest of the federal government, there have been significant personnel changes at the FBI since President Trump took office. I want to better understand the scope of the turnover and the changes occurring at the FBI. Since January 2025, how many FBI employees have retired, resigned, been fired, or otherwise separated from employment? I need a number.
We'll get you a number.
What is the number? You don't have it?
Not off the top of my head, and I want to get you the right number.
Would it surprise you to know that it's probably in the thousands, like 5,000?
I don't think that number's
Well,
accurate.
you don't know. Next question. How many special agents or analysts have left or been fired from the FBI since January 20th, 2025?
Say, we will get you the numbers, and anyone that retires is of their own volition, and anyone that is terminated at the FBI, as I've said before, is done so because they have failed to meet the standards and uphold their loyalty and oath to the Constitution.
Yeah, so you say. Next question. How many executive assistant directors, or special agents in charge have left or been fired from the FBI since January 20th, 2025?
Again, people leaving on their own accord or terminations were done by the standards set at the FBI that have been carried out
With this question, I'm
consistently.
getting to the leadership of the FBI, and you don't have that answer. Next question. Which field office, division, or directorate has lost the most personnel since January 2025? And do you have the answer to that question?
Yeah, actually, every single field office in the country, including Hawaii, has received a plus-up of FBI agents because we're pushing them out to the field.
Okay, so you're telling me that no field office, division, or directorate has lost any personnel since January 20th, 2025. That's your answer?
In Hawaii, there's been a plus up. In every single state that I'm looking at, we have allocated a plus up for field offices across the country so that the FBI can continuing the historic achievements it's done in these last 7 months. When you're talking about firings, you're looking for a media hit and a fundraising clip, and I'm not going to give it to you.
It doesn't matter under what basis they left. I just want to know how many have left. And I think your testimony is nobody has left. Next question.
Nope,
Which
that's
field-
not my testimony. You asked it one time. I answered it one time. You didn't get the answer you wanted for your clips.
Next question.
You keep asking it, and I told you I'd get you the numbers, but you can keep asking it.
Which field office, division, or directorate has gained the most personnel since January 2025? You noted that there have been plus-ups, so which offices have received these plus-ups?
The greatest allocation that I believe was given to California and then Florida.
Where were those offices?
California and Florida.
Director Patel, you often refer to FBI agents as cops. All of us, Democrats and Republicans, support the police officers who keep our communities safe. But while our states, cities, counties, and towns all employ police officers to protect our communities, Congress has empowered and equipped the FBI to take on missions that local police cannot, especially taking on terrorists, hackers, and spies. I'd like to assess how well the FBI is able to handle its specialized missions under your leadership. The FBI is the nation's lead federal law enforcement agency for investigating and preventing acts of domestic and international terrorism. And yet the executive assistant directors in charge of the FBI's national security and intelligence branches were both forced out at the beginning of the year. Who replaced them in those positions?
Excellent qualified personnel to lead the mission of arresting 23,000 violent criminals this year alone. That's twice as many
the
as
people
before.
Who took the places of
I'm not going to give you any names so you can attack them.
Why not?
So you can attack them. I'm not doing that. The
You're not
people
gonna
sitting
give
in
me the
those seats are
names of-
extremely qualified to handle the job.
You're
We
not
would
gonna
not
give
have
me
the
the
results.
names of
We would-
personnel who
we would
should
not
be
have the
on your
reduction
website.
of
Fine,
violence in the
moving
state
on.
of Hawaii if we did not allocate the
Earlier
resources we
this
did.
year, FBI counterterrorist special agents and investigators were reassigned to assist with immigration enforcement. Reportedly, these counterterrorism experts were returned to the jobs they trained for in late January after Iran threatened to retaliate for our strikes on their nuclear facilities. Have those experts remained in the jobs they trained for since that time? Yes or no?
FBI agents' primary responsibility is exactly what they are assigned to do. We always work with our
So since they
interagency
returned
part.
to their positions,
If you're not
are
going to
they
let me
still in
answer,
those
why don't you
positions?
just do your soliloquy in the 4.5 minutes you have
I
left?
am not asking for a soliloquy. It's just a yes or no. Are those people who were returned to their jobs still on those jobs? Yes or no?
They never left.
What was that?
They never left their primary job. It is a surge of resources in law enforcement working with the interagency to combat violent crime and reduce
They were
violent
never,
crime in
okay, they were never
historic
reassigned to do
proportions.
immigration. That's your testimony. Okay, Director Patel, the FBI is also the lead federal agency for investigating cyber attacks and
Yes.
cyber intrusions, both by foreign nation states and by non-state hacker groups. Since President Trump's inauguration, the executive assistant director in charge of the criminal and cyber branch and the head of the FBI's cyber division have both left the FBI. What are the names of the people who replace them in those positions?
The cyber branch is one of the most impressive at the FBI. 409 arrests this year, 169 convictions. That's a 42% increase from the same time last year.
It's that
So
branch,
any
Mr.
suggestion that the FBI cyber division is not operating at full capacity and better than ever before, the leadership at the branch is implementing these changes necessary to attack the cyber and ransomware infrastructure operators
You know
for
why
Iran, China,
they're
and Russia.
important? I want to know who has those positions, since the people who originally were there.
Supremely
Are no longer
qualified
there.
individuals have those positions.
they?
Supremely qualified
Who
individuals.
are they? What are the names?
You're not
You
getting
don't
them.
know. Special agents who investigate cybercrime were also reassigned for immigration enforcement. Have those expert investigators returned to their duties? Yes or no?
All agents remained on their primary duties while surging to allocate resources for interagency operations to the Homeland Security task forces across this country.
So are you?
Am I what?
See, I'm not getting the yes or no answers. I get all this explanation. So there you go.
No, you get the work that
Are
the men
you
and women of the
planning
FBI are doing. And
Any
you don't want that.
additional personnel cuts to the cyber division in the future?
The only people that will be terminated at the FBI will be those that violate their oath of office or fail to meet the high standards at the FBI.
You are now requiring applicants to be able to do a certain kind of pull-ups, which a lot of women cannot because of physiological differences. Are you requiring these kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring a physical program at BFTC at Quantico because FBI agents carrying guns in the field have to chase down bad guys and do really hard work. The physical fitness standards of those agents
So
are
are
being
you requiring
appropriately
these
assessed.
kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring everybody to pass the 1811 standards at BFTC. If you want to chase down a bad guy
Excuse me,
and put
the
him in
reason I
handcuffs, you
asked-
better be able to do a pull-up.
The reason I ask is
All right,
that
now that we've watched the full thing, let's talk about what actually went down in that hearing. First off, you could see the senator was fishing for a headline. She wanted Kash Patel to admit to some mass exodus at the FBI. 5,000 agents gone, total chaos, right? Except there's no evidence of that. Patel stayed composed and factual, saying, "We'll get you the numbers." That's what a real leader does. He doesn't make things up on the spot just to please a political opponent. Then, the senator tried to corner him again on leadership changes, trying to drag names out of him so the media could target and smear whoever took those positions. And Kash, he said no. He protected his people. That's not hiding. That's leadership. That's someone who values integrity over public spectacle. And when she accused him of being loyal to President Trump instead of the Constitution, Kash laid it out perfectly. He listed his entire 16-year record of service, from public defender to national security prosecutor to Pentagon chief of staff, across multiple administrations. That's not loyalty to one man. That's loyalty to the mission, to the oath, to the country. Then there was that bizarre turn, where the senator questioned the FBI's physical standards. Imagine calling one pull-up harsh. Patel didn't back down. He reminded her that FBI agents carry guns, chase down violent criminals, and have to be physically fit. It wasn't about discrimination, it was about readiness. That's what real-world leadership looks like. The senator tried to paint a picture of an FBI in decline, but Patel flipped that too, pointing out that the Bureau has added personnel to every field office and achieved historic reductions in violent crime. Facts over feelings. And when it came to cybercrime and counterterrorism, the man came armed with results, hundreds of arrests, major convictions, and improved performance across the board. He didn't need talking points, he had data. What we saw was a clash between politics and professionalism. The senator wanted drama. Kash Patel delivered discipline. He didn't play the victim. He didn't grandstand. He led. At the end of the day, this hearing didn't expose a weak FBI. It exposed how politicized the oversight process has become. And if anything, it made Kash Patel look stronger. So here's my takeaway. Kash Patel is proving that you can serve under any administration and still stay loyal to the Constitution. That's what real public service looks like. And that's why his critics can't stand him. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Did Kash handle the hearing like a pro, or what? If you found this breakdown helpful, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to see the truth, and stay tuned for more no-nonsense coverage right here on Hot News Today, where we call it like it is.